First game week of the season is over and everyone feels like their season is over. Panic selling, knee-jerk buying and some crazy transfers is what we have seen in the past 3 days. If you are knee-jerking, please don't. Only make transfers if your team needs it. You had built your team keeping some strategy in mind and you must have bought certain players in your team for some particular reason. Do not forget that reason and stick with your players and your plan. One game week does not make your picks bad and it certainly does not define your season. With that thought in mind, let's get this video rolling. In this video, we will see how I did in game week 1 and what does my game week 2 free hit team looks like. I scored 61 points, not the best start but not the worst either. Haaland scored a brace. Salah with a late goal saved the game week for me as I was really confused with my captaincy pick. I really wanted to go Haaland, but Salah's EO was what I was scared of. Ultimately, it did cost me 5 points, but I shall take it over a blank any day. Gakpo scored a goal and had a very decent match. He had 0.64 XGI, which was way more than Salah, who only registered 0.37 XGI. Until Liverpool do not sign a striker or a winger, Gakpo should be good to start future games as well. Reinders was the best pick of the team, not score-wise as he scored only 10 points, but the way he played that match. He was everywhere, created the first goal, and by created I mean that pass to Lewis which resulted in the goal, scored the second and then provided an assist for the third. Just beautiful. And I had Reinders before all the content creators jumped onto him. Van de Ven had his 6-pointer courtesy of a clean sheet. Spurs do look like an improved team under Thomas Frank and their players could be a bargain this season. Apart from that, it was very stale elsewhere. Frimpong coming off in the 59th minute was the most annoying thing. It was the first game of the season and you see your defender who would have gotten his clean sheet point had he stayed on the pitch for 20 more seconds. It's annoying. Forest clean sheet was wiped off by a Thiago penalty, and apart from that Brentford did not trouble the Forest defense and they looked like a team who can keep clean sheets moving forward. Hence I am very happy with my Forest picks. I was really annoyed with Bowen, Pedro and Malen. West Ham looked like a very poor team and if you have Bowen in your team, maybe you should look at getting rid of him. We all had him for the Sunderland fixture which is over now and he has blanked. Maybe you do not get rid of him in game week 2, but gradually, as and when you can, you should get rid of him because you can do a lot with that 8 million. Pedro is the troll of FPL, isn't it? 5 goals in preseason, Chelsea looking like an amazing team in preseason, and then in the Premier League, they just could not attack. Everyone knew that Pedro was a minute's risk, but everyone also expected him to do some damage in the 70 minutes that he plays. He is still the first choice striker for Chelsea and he should start the next game. So if you have him, keep your patience with him. Malen was the most exciting pick for me as he was so low owned, had an amazing preseason, and then Emery goes on to bench him only to start with 9 defensive players. Like 9 defensive players. Come on Emery. I was not surprised that Aston Villa lacked their firepower as they only had Watkins and Rogers as their attacking players. I do expect Malen to start from game week 2, 3 or 4 and I'll be patient with him. On the bench, I'm really happy with my Palace defenders as Palace also looked solid defensively and Richards will come in handy in game week 4 and 5. That's it for game week 1 analysis. Let's jump onto the section why you probably clicked on this video in the first place. Raya makes it as the goalkeeper for my free hit team as this Arsenal defense looks really solid. Credit to Man United. They played really well. Best I've seen them play in years. And still they could not breach that Arsenal defense. And playing against Leeds, who also attacked a lot, but only scored a solitary goal, that too courtesy of a penalty against Everton. I do expect Arsenal to keep a clean sheet here. If you look at the clean sheet odds, Arsenal are on top. And they have the best chance of keeping a clean sheet. No other team is even close. Which goes on to say how difficult it is to predict clean sheets this game week. Hence, super happy with Raya and let's see how the defense is shaping up. For all the reasons I just spoke for Raya, Gabriel has made it into my team. Although Saliba did get a DEFCON point in the previous match, Arsenal defenders generally do not get DEFCON points, and Gabriel is still a threat from corners. If I'm going for an Arsenal defender, it has to be Gabriel. I've also doubled up on this Chelsea defense. Looking at how bad West Ham were and how good Chelsea were defensively, doubling up made a lot of sense. Not only do Chelsea have a chance of keeping clean sheet, but both these wingbacks also have chance to either score or assist. Kukureya is legit playing on the wings and he will get an attacking return sooner or later. I just hope sooner, and I hope in game week 2 itself. And as I said that clean sheets are very hard to predict this game week, I'll put my trust in the best defenses who have really good fixtures. Looking at my midfield, you will see that there is no Mo Salah. If you have to take on Salah, this is the week. Although Salah has had crazy returns against Newcastle lately, I am willing to take on Salah. I do not expect his elo to be more than 100% as captaincy will be split this week between Salah, Haaland, Palmer and Saka. I personally have gone with Saka, Semenyo, Reinders and Bumo in my midfield. Saka because of the fixture. Even though he does not have penalties anymore, Gyökeres is the first choice penalty taker. Leeds is still a fixture where he can do good. I am still contemplating between Saka and Palmer, and I might change Saka to Palmer, but with Palmer's form and Saka's fixture, it is very difficult to do so. I will think more on this, and Saka is not a definite lock in my team. Semenyo looked really good against Liverpool, and Wolves looked really bad against Man City. I do see Bournemouth scoring 2 or 3 goals, and if they do, Semenyo likely gets at least one return. Reinders, I don't think I need to talk a lot about him. He has shown on the pitch why he deserves to be in the team, and with just 5.5 or 5.6 now, he could be the bargain of the season along with Cherki, of course if Pep starts him more often. Bumo is also not a lock as he can still be Cunha. I'm still confused between the two as Cunha was the best player for Man United on the pitch, but Bumo found himself in really good goal scoring positions. I am leaning 60-40 towards Bumo for now, but we'll see and I'll keep you posted on which player I did finally go for. Coming to strikers, Haaland is in for obvious reasons. Although I do expect a much improved Spurs team, I still feel Haaland can have a good game. Had it been an away match, it would still have been tricky, but City's first game of the season in the Etihad and combined with Haaland's explosiveness at the start of the season, he had to be in the team. And in fact, I will be correcting my game week 1 mistake and I'll give him the armband as well. Watkins had a disappointing game week 1, but Villa were lacking the attacking players. I do expect Emery to make some changes in the starting lineup for this game. Also, Watkins is playing a Brentford team who just conceded 3 goals to Forest. I am hopeful of a return or 2 from him. And finishing off this team is Strand Larsen. He looked good against Man City and found himself in good positions as well. Larsen had 0.38 xg against Man City, and with a Bournemouth team who has a completely new defense and who just shipped in 4 goals against Liverpool, Larsen is where my bet will be. On the bench, I have Dubravka, Dorgu, King and Ronaldo. I hope the bench is not called into action as I look to maximize my points from this free hit team. And I'm not going to say any good words about this team because I do not want to jinx it. Let's see how bad this team can perform. And now I know that this team is going to perform badly. That is a surety. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button on your way out and subscribe if you want to come along on my journey to finishing under top 1k this season. That's the goal. Bye.